Imagine trying to buy a loaf of bread, but instead of reaching for a wallet, you struggle to lift a 40-pound slab of solid copper on the counter. Well, that was Sweden, 17th century. White Swedish merchants in heavy wool coats stand in muddy market streets, lifting metal plates onto wooden counters with visible strain in their arms. Not coins, not notes, but physical currency that requires muscle and effort just to exist in your possession. And the unsettling part is not the weight itself. It's that everyone accepts this as normal. Children grow up watching adults carry money like construction material. And slowly, without anyone noticing, value stops being invisible and starts becoming physical burden. At first, the system wasn't designed this way. Coins were meant to represent copper, but copper becomes too valuable inside the coins themselves. So, instead of reducing complexity, the system increases scale. Coins become plates. Plates become slabs. Slabs become objects so heavy they require carts, ropes, and sometimes multiple men just to transport a single payment. White Swedish traders begin arriving at marketplaces already exhausted, before the transaction even begins. Because now, money does not just represent value, it resists being used. And that resistance changes behavior. People hesitate before spending. Not emotionally, but physically. Markets that once moved quickly begin to stall. A simple exchange becomes a coordinated physical operation. Merchants signal assistance before approaching stalls. Transactions require preparation, timing, manpower, and something strange begins to happen psychologically. Every purchase now feels like effort. Every exchange feels like resistance against your own body. White Swedish citizens begin unconsciously avoiding transactions, not because they lack money, but because they lack willingness to carry it. And underneath this growing friction, an uncomfortable contrast exists in memory. A simpler form of exchange, direct trade between people. No weight, no slabs, no physical burden. A system that required nothing but agreement in the moment. But by this point, that simplicity already feels outdated, almost unthinkable. Because when a complex system takes hold long enough, even simplicity starts to look unrealistic. And when spending becomes physically inconvenient, the entire economy begins to slow in silence. No collapse, just friction. Increasing friction. Authorities try to correct the imbalance, but the correction makes it worse. Instead of redesigning currency, they expand it. Even larger copper plates enter circulation. Some so large they resemble furniture more than money. Now wealth is not just heavy. It is visible from a distance, and Sweden becomes an outlier in Europe. While other nations trade invisibly through coins and credit, Sweden is still dragging its economy through streets on metal slabs. And that creates a deeper instability. When your money is physically harder to move than your goods, trade begins to lose meaning. And then a dangerous question spreads quietly. If value cannot travel easily, does it still function as value? Eventually, the system reaches its limit. Not through rebellion, but through exhaustion. Copper plates are no longer just inconvenient. They are structurally incompatible with daily life. Markets slow further. Trade shifts away from physical exchange, and Sweden begins transitioning toward lighter systems of value. Systems that do not demand human strength to function. The copper era does not end in drama. It ends in replacement. And what remains is a strange historical contradiction. Money had become so real that it stopped working as money. And maybe the real question isn't how they lived with this system, but how easily humans accept whatever they're told has value. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And subscribe, because if value can be assigned to something as impractical as carrying copper instead of coins, what are we accepting as normal value today without questioning it?